Hello, dear Pisces. This is Chronic Joy Tarot. This is going to be your general reading for May 2018, or with whatever time of the year or day or week that you happen to be coming upon this video. This reading's for you. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with me here. I had a kind of an absence in April. I was very tied up with my day gig and just could not break away and with enough clear space to do the readings. So I had to sort of let them pass. But I'm back, and I am a little late here in May, but here I am. Thank you for visiting and being here. I hope you enjoy the reading. We're going to use the Oracle. Oh, if you're new to my channel, pardon me, just know that the style of my reading is geared toward you and your own soul's growth, less about outward, outside circumstances and other people and what they're doing to you. It's more about where you stand and how you'll respond to your spiritual growth. Okay, and if you are returning, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with me. Remember to follow me on Instagram, Living Chronic Joy or Chronic Joy Tarot, you could search. And I'm hoping to continue to do little mini readings there, little videos. In the meantime, the Oracle card I've chosen for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising, or whoever happens to be stopping by, is from the Using the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle deck that I found that I just love, love, love. It's a great deck just to pull a card a day, and just like get some guidance as to what to focus on for yourself and for your growth. And for you Pisces at this time, we pulled PERIDOT. So this is perfect for the water sign that you are. This card guides you to emotional cleansing. Okay, so your deep emotions, if they are in the way of your progress, if they, or maybe, some clinging to the past or, darker thoughts, it's time to, protect yourself, clear those, release them, and then protect yourself from, from outside influences kind of swaying your way. So this is about your inner depths and emotions, and then finding a way to clear them out so that you can have sort of a purified point of view to progress forward. It's a constant practice, as you could tell. The spread I'm using here with the Zen Tarot deck is the Flying Bird. We start here at the point of liftoff and then take flight and arrive at a new level of awareness at the top. Left side of the wing are internal influences, maybe sometimes unseen, which is, going to be related to these deeper emotions. And the right side of the wing are external sort of what's going on in your daily world. Your starting point here as it relates to emotional purification, Pisces, is totality. So it's time to really step fully into each moment. Find that sort of field of awareness that's available to all of us. But in times of stress or, busyness and, maybe a lot of mental, activity, we forget to rest in each moment and really take in what's right here, right now. That is going to help. A lot of times these deeply buried emotions are sort of compounded by our thoughts about them, right? So say there is, a very dramatic or traumatic experience in your past, and it's gone. It's not a reality anymore. It has already passed, but your feelings about it are sort of, they're fueled by the thoughts about it, right? So that's what creates this intensity within you as far as your emotional world. embracing all of who you are and embracing this very moment right now is one of the keys to being able to move forward from some of that emotional hurt. Like we see these acrobats flying in the air. If one of them is going to distract out of the moment and say, oh, what's my schedule today? I have to be so-and-so by 2:00, and they don't focus on the task at hand, they're going to all three go tumbling down. So your work, Pisces, is to, and this isn't easy, it's just a practice, is to, when it occurs to you that you're, having a sort of stuck feeling or a strong emotional response to a situation in your life, is to take that breath and look around and be and allow in exactly what is in this moment. A lot of times this helps if you are connected to nature, animals. Children have a great way of making us live right in the moment if you stay on their wavelength. Animals, the same thing. They're just always there, always offering that love. And that is a practice that you can do for yourself to help with some of this stuff that might be clinging, in your mind or in your soul. Because what's real isn't the things that go on in your head, right? What's real is right here in front of you, right? This totality energy. Internally, and the one thing that may block your progress here, and that's this one position of this card is sort of a progress blocker, control. So either a very strong sense of wanting to control circumstances that stems from deep within you, or a deep feeling of loss of control. So that could be the one thing that the topic or the energy of control would block your progress in releasing some of this deeper emotional energy that's within you. Giving, I understand about, as humans, our need to want to feel, that we at least control some of our circumstances. But if you think of it on the grand scale, there really is no such thing. We don't control life, right? We control our response to it. We have, we have control over how we choose to show up, and that's about it. Life and the things that happen and the things that come along, we don't have control. And so this may be something you struggle with deep within you, that maybe you're not willing to fully admit, or haven't until this point been able to, or been willing to seek out and acknowledge that, yeah, there's just really not being in control is, really one of the most beautiful ways that we can proceed with our life, is to just realize we don't have control. And when things come up and they feel like obstacles, they could just be protecting us from what may be coming, and we don't know. And not knowing, it's not the most comfortable space to live in, but it's also very freeing if you can really master it. It might help with releasing and cleansing your emotions, is to just kind of put your arms up and say, you know what? Have at it, life. I'll roll with whatever you throw my way, right? A lot of times our emotions, especially if these what we call negative emotions, like sadness, worry, regret, guilt, shame, those are sort of an indication that we're not in alignment, and that maybe we are grasping too tightly, and trying, too hard to cling to a certain concept or whatever. And it creates, when you're not in alignment with your true loving self, then, it creates these emotions of worry, shame, guilt, regret, anger. And this is a very human condition. I'm not trying to point my finger at you guys. This is just, in general, a very human condition. I'm constantly having to redirect myself from these moments of where I want to just grasp and dig my heels in, right? About anything with another person, or about a subject, or my career, or whatever. That space of being able to allow life to come to you and then to navigate in response to it, that's a very freeing state of being. Not easy to achieve. Simple concept, not always easy, right? In your external world, in response to this acknowledgement of the need to release some sense of control, well, it looks like if you even try, you can do it. If you even just begin to look to even the most subtle space within you that wants control, or wants to know outcomes, or wants to force a certain path when circumstances or the universe is not supporting that path. If you just at least look to that need to control your outcomes and release just a little bit of it, acknowledge it, and just say, for today, I'm good. For today, I need nothing. For today, just find little subtle ways to shift it. You'll soon find this feeling of freedom and success, and freedom from these deeper emotional stuck places. Okay? The next internal energy is the courage card. So it may feel like it's very difficult to let go of this need for locking into a certain way, a certain outcomes that you're seeking. But all it takes is to sort of reach for the light, like that little flower that's growing from the seed deep inside the boulder. Just sort of reach for that light, just little by little. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and say, oh, all my emotions are cleansed and I have no need to control one thing and I'm living freely. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a practice, but it's just something for you to focus on at this time. Okay, Pisces? In your outside world, this sense of being able to get this in motion is going to help release literal burdens in your life. Whether that be emotional burdens with another, maybe you're a heavy schedule, that maybe you're just not tending to your emotional side and just go as far as your daily life, and maybe it's creating a well of feelings within you that really need to be let out and released. Somehow it's going to release that heaviness if you just start to acknowledge that there is no control. There is nothing to control in this life except the way I show up, right? And this helps a lot with certain, I know with social media, it's just so amazing how many opinions we're exposed to every day, and how that can be very disillusioned. It's just almost like, a handful of people are responding negatively to something that's posted. So you figure, half the world is thinking this way, right? Well, it's so deceiving. And I know for myself, social media tends to create heavier emotions within me if I pay too much attention to it. So, in this world, our information is all right there, right in front of us all the time, any moment we want, right at our fingertips, literally. And it's up to us to, control what we expose ourselves to, what we, what we post, right? What we show up as. It's important. I don't know why the social media thing just came to me, so maybe for some of you, that's kind of relevant right now. I'm not really sure. The next and the top line of the internal energies here is the possibilities card. Love this because once you begin to crack open that the armor that's within you, protecting these deeper feelings, and you're telling yourself you're protecting yourself from harm by holding these feelings in. Once you begin to chip that armor away, not only will the burden lift, but the possibilities will start to show up. If this is, if these emotions are tied to a certain relationship, then just letting go of, I can't control what someone else says or does, but I will be here and I will show up with my loving heart and accept that, every single person is on their own journey, and let's just see how ours merge. And if you just rest in that sort of, very, very real and aware attention to the moment right now, then it opens up a lot of opportunities that maybe you wouldn't have seen otherwise if you were bound up within and trying to make sure things turned out a certain way, right? The eagle flies way above this land, and unlike the little field mouse down below who sees only grass and twigs and insects, the eagle sees it all. And so you may have moments of this clarity where you can see the big picture and just know and trust it's all waiting, it's all coming, it's all happening for me. Life happens for you, not to you. This sense of needing to control makes you feel like things are happening to you, right? Because, it's not maybe turning out the way you initially foresaw, but just turning that a little bit and knowing that life is always happening for you, even in the perceived negative moments. Those might be moments of redirection. Like I said, they may be turning you away from something that would not have been a good experience or not a growing experience, and may have gotten you, into a tighter space or whatever. The last two cards for the external and sort of the outcome and the overall message of the reading, I pulled two cards. It's moment to moment and sharing. I like the moment to moment because that ties in with the totality card, which is where we started, right? So that common thread throughout the reading, throughout this experience of opening up your deeper emotions, the most important practice is to be here now, just in this moment. This figure is walking down the river, closed eyes, no idea if the next stone will show up in the place he needs it to, but he trusts that it will. And for right now, he's on that stone and he has no worries, right? That real sense of being right in the moment. And then the final card is sharing. Give of yourself. Take those emotions that are deep within and you want to release and use them for the good. Use them to connect with others. Other people may have the same experiences as you, or just have a willing, open heart and willing to be listening to some of these things that need to be cleared for you. This clearing can be done on your own or with another, in prayer, in meditation, in journaling. There's many ways to release our deeper feelings. And for you, Pisces, I wish you the best. I hope that your soul work continues, and I really hope to be able to see you again this month. I'm going to really try to do another reading this month. I said that last month, but it pretty much blew up in my face. Okay, I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.